few times already in these Mama Pep Talks, I've been telling you about my friend and neighbor, Chagit Bat Leah, who very unfortunately, very tragically, she's at a very advanced stage with cancer. So she's been living with her parents for the last few weeks. So in addition to the tragedy of her tragic situation, please daven for Chagit Bat Leah, and please Hashem, may we see like miracles, like a miraculous recovery for Chagit Bat Leah. But in addition to her own personal tragedy, her own personal suffering, so it's been very, very difficult for me to see her husband, Eitan, with their 5 small children, the oldest of whom is, I think, 11. So I just want to tell you about a conversation that I had last week with Eitan. So basically, since Eitan loves his wife with all of his heart and all of his soul, she's like his whole world. And it's just been heartbreaking to see him in this very difficult time. So I just wanted to tell you, last Friday, I had a conversation with him because we in the neighborhood were trying to help him out in different ways. We paid, for example, for a babysitter to come every afternoon and to do different things to help out with taking care of the kids and things like that, and financially. So last week on Friday, I asked him about finding a housekeeper. So we've been trying to find a good housekeeper to help them out, so I was just asking him on Friday what exactly he needs, what he needs in terms of a housekeeper. And in the past, he's mentioned to me several times how he's feeling totally overwhelmed by the house, and he doesn't know how to organize the closets like his wife. I should just say his wife was just an amazing mother, sort of like a superwoman. She's an amazing mother, kept her house amazing. She did everything for everyone in the community, for her family. She was everything. She was just a powerhouse. So Eitan really never really had to do anything in the house so much. So all of a sudden, he's been telling me for the last few weeks how he's struggling to keep the house in order, struggling with the kids, struggling with everything. So this past Friday, I was talking with him, and all of a sudden, for the first time since Chagit got sick, Eitan gets this big smile on his face. Because he's really been very, very despondent, very, very down. He gets this huge smile, and he says, you asked about housekeeping. He said, and the truth is I was feeling really overwhelmed with the closets. I didn't know how to keep the closets. I didn't know how to organize them. 5 kids and me and winter and summer and where to keep everything. He said, but this past week I figured it out. I figured out how to keep the closets. He said, and I'm organized and I understand the boys' clothing is here and my daughter's clothing is here and my clothing is here and winter's here and summer's here. And he had this huge smile on his face, this huge feeling of pride. And I think like after I left that, it was like the first sort of encouraging sign, I think, that the first encouraging sign I've had from that family in quite a while. And it was very, very encouraging. And I think just to see a smile, it reminded me what a satisfying feeling, maybe one of the most satisfying feelings in the world, is those moments when you're feeling like overwhelmed, like feeling like you just can't possibly manage, but figuring out how to fix things, figuring out what you need to fix in order to make your life better. So this is the continuation, I guess, of last week's pep talk. I want to talk some more about being, about the martyr mom, being in situations that are overwhelming, feeling like you can't cope, and figuring out the small changes that you need to make in order to make life better. So I want to talk more about sort of small changes I've made in my own life that have had a tremendous impact on my ability to be thriving and happy. And so, first of all, just as a follow-up to last week's pep talk. Last week's pep talk it was a bit painful for me to watch it, to see how stressed out and how overwhelmed I was looking in that pep talk, and I'm feeling much, much better now. So, first of all, I want to tell you the 2 things that I changed that have been helping me to feel a lot more on top of things. The first thing is that I was feeling very overwhelmed with my little baby, Sophia. And I sat down with my husband, and we decided that 4 evenings a week, I'm going to go out for an hour on my own. And basically, one of my older daughters will take care of the baby, and my husband will be around to make sure everything's okay. And I already feel like just even coming up with that decision, like realizing, okay, for like 4 hours a week, I'm going to get out and get like a little bit of air, and it already made me feel so much more relaxed and so much more happy with her and so much more like, good. no more at all like a martyr mom. So that's one thing. The next thing is, I was telling you about my disastrous Friday that I had like a week ago. So I decided, and I actually did it this week, that I'm going to do my cooking on Thursday. I'm going to do my cooking on Thursday nights. I did it this week. I was up for like 2 hours, like working really hard, getting everything ready. And on Friday, the truth is that I still had like a ton to do on Friday morning, but I was really, really determined to that like my top priority isn't cooking one more thing, isn't having everything be as clean in the upstairs or whatever. My priority is to have a good Friday experience, a good Erev Shabbat experience, and actually worked. Even though it wasn't that I did any less work in the end on Friday, I ended up having to do a lot of things, but it really, really helped, just like that attitude. Like, my top priority is, being in a good mood on Friday and coming into Shabbat relaxed and having had a nice, pleasant Friday, and it actually worked. So I'm looking forward. This is hard to believe. I'm actually, I think, looking forward to next Friday, having another Friday like this last one. I want to tell you like other examples of things in my life that I saw weren't working and what the small changes that I made in order to fix them. Just to sort of get your sort of thoughts going about the things that you can change. It's like having ideas about things that aren't working, figuring out what in your life isn't working, and figure out the small changes that you need to do, that you need to make in your life to make things flow better, to make your life better. Okay, your mornings not working, your afternoons aren't working, your late nights aren't working, you're staying up too late, different things. What's not working? What do you need to fix? And what small steps can you take to make your life as a mom better? You can do it. You can make your life better. Okay, so I want to tell you the things that I've done that have really helped to make my life better. Okay, the first thing is that I have a husband he's a rabbi, and he has a very, very, very intense workload. He works really, really insane hours, and on top of that, he loves learning Torah. So basically, when he's not working, then in addition to that, many, many hours he's learning Torah. Which means that he really makes a point of having quality time with the kids, and thank God. And we're very, very strict about having a 2-hour date every week where we go out for pizza or something. But which I think is really required as a side point for all of you to have a 2-hour date. You leave the house, have a fixed babysitter, go out with your husband once a week. It's really required for all Jewish moms. But I was feeling like communication with my husband on a daily basis was sort of disappearing. Aside from sort of like, you'll pick that one up from school and, don't forget to pay the electricity bill today, that kind of thing. Okay? So I decided this past, before Rosh Hashanah, I was sort of doing some cheshbon nefesh, doing sort of an accounting of what's working in my life and what isn't working. And I realized, daily communication with my husband is not really working so well. So I decided that we're going to commit, my husband and I are going to commit to 10 minutes a day. 10 minutes a day that we are sitting down and talking. And it sounds like very little, but the truth is it's wonderful. And it's just something that I think that both of us look forward to. That 10 minutes every morning when my husband comes back from shul, from davening, he comes back, he's eating breakfast, we sit down and, we have 10 nice minutes to talk about things in a leisurely way. It's really, really wonderful. And I hope that from year to year that we'll get more and more and more time, that we'll be able to have this fixed quality time together. Okay? The next thing I want to tell you is that I've been having I did a bit of thinking about what wasn't working, and I realized that my afternoons, I was ending up going through my afternoons not enjoying my afternoons with my kids so much. That just in Israel, you pick up young children at 1:30. So it meant basically I had this long afternoon with my kids, and I was just feeling a bit burnt out about it, So what I decided is that 3 afternoons a week, I'm going to go with my kids to the gym. I live right next door to my gym. And it just means, so I love working out for 45 minutes. My kids actually love going to the babysitter. And then afterwards I take them to get something yummy in the market, in the shuk, across from the gym. And it's really made me in a way I really now I love my afternoons. They're really something that I really enjoy. So the last thing is that I had been feeling. I was thinking a few months ago, and I realized that I was not getting enough sleep. My baby, she wakes me up in the middle of the night to nurse. And I've just been feeling it's very, very hard for me. And so, of course, I had always been trying to get to bed earlier. I've been trying for years to get to bed earlier. but it doesn't really work. It's very, very, very hard for me to get to bed earlier because I get like a second wind late at night. So what I decided is that in the morning, after I have my quality time with my husband, I go back to sleep for 20 minutes. And it's really been working. It's really been working for me. It really makes me feel like that much more rested and much more relaxed. So I want to bless all of us that when these things that we should be able to look at our lives. You know, look at your mornings, at your afternoons, at your evenings, at your life, your weekdays, your Shabbat. Figure out what's not going well, what's going well, and what's not going well. What needs a little bit of fine tuning or a lot of like major tuning, in order to enable you to thrive and be happy and to be a good mom and a good wife and to be a happy person. And ultimately to enable like your family to thrive and your whole home to be like a happy, thriving place. By finding the things that need to be fixed and to fix them. Okay, I want to bless all of you with an amazing, amazing week.